to weather now on a cloudy and cool Friday in West Michigan, and you can expect about the same during the weekend.
Yeah, this is a live look from our Snug Harbor Tower camera in Grand Haven. And Chief Meteorologist George Lessons here now with the first look at the forecast. Hi, George.
Hey, yeah, it's been a cool day here in West Michigan. We're getting a hint of some sunshine at the lakeshore, but it's been pretty cloudy here in the greater Grand Rapids area. Let's take a look at the areas that do have some sunshine. As Kirk mentioned, a little bit of sunshine there in Grand Haven. Also, some smidgens of sunshine in Muskegon. You see that back edge of some clearing up in Fremont, and there are at least brighter skies than they were yesterday at this time. Rain from yesterday ended about 2 o'clock in the morning here in Grand Rapids. We haven't seen any since. You can see that back edge of the clearing, but there's a very large and very cold low pressure system over the arrowhead of Minnesota that's just going to keep us cool all weekend long. I think most of the showers this weekend will be just to the east, as that cold front just kind of hangs out there, and off to our west, where there'll be even some snow showers up in Minnesota and maybe as close as Madison, Wisconsin. At least we're not as cold as they are up in Fargo, where they're in the mid-30s. We're in the mid-50s now, with 70s and 80s well off to our east. Closer to home, most of us are in the 50s, 52 north, 57 down in Kalamazoo, but these temperatures are about 5 to as much as 20 degrees cooler than we were yesterday at this time. We'll take a closer look at your weekend forecast, and if there's any warm up on the way, that's in just a few minutes. Well, 24 hours ago, it was rather noisy with thunderstorms. Today is just quiet and certainly much cooler. What's ahead for the weekend? Well, more of the same. Cooler weather in view, and that's why the 13 weather ball is blue. And this view sponsored by Countryside Greenhouse of Allendale. After topping out this afternoon in the mid and upper 50s, we're going to see mainly cloudy skies for the next several days. We'll dip down into the mid-40s tonight and only recover into the upper 40s tomorrow. Can't rule out a sprinkle here tomorrow, but for the most part, just a gray, cloudy day. Cold front went through yesterday evening. That's what brought the showers and storms. It's now over eastern Ohio where there's some storms there. We've got a little bit of momentary clearing taking place right at the lakeshore. Nice and sunny from Pentwater northward, but this frontal system is just going to kind of hang around, so we're not going to see a lot of clearing. And in fact, these clouds are going to just kind of overspread the rest of the region later on tonight. You can see by tomorrow morning, all of that rain staying well to our east. Models are real enthusiastic about bringing rain, but these are all just sprinkles and probably enough to wet the ground at a time or two. And then on Saturday night, it all falls apart. And on Sunday, again, maybe a sprinkle, but just cloudy skies. And with that west-northwest wind continuing to bring down that cool air, we aren't going to see a warm-up anytime soon. And you can see in terms of rainfall, most of it will be over toward Detroit and Ohio, a couple of hundredths of an inch, and usually we call that noise in our models. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a sprinkle, but for the most part, a cloudy, dry weather pattern. Temperatures, though, cooler than average. Our average high is 60. We're only going to be around 48 during the day tomorrow. 45 on Sunday, rather chilly day. We'll do a little bit of recovery the rest of next week, but only starting out at 49 on Monday. There's really no big warm up coming for the next several days. In fact, our long range outlook says all the warm weather is out west from the Rockies out to the west coast. We have a high chance that will continue to be cooler than average. Our average highs are in the low and mid 60s. We might get to 60, and we have a higher chance for more precipitation, but that will come next weekend, most likely Saturday night and Sunday. Tonight, though, it'll be partly cloudy at the lakeshore for a while, and then temperatures in the upper 30s to near 40. Inland will be mainly cloudy, a few breaks here and there, 38 to 40. And here in the greater Grand Rapids zone, will be right around 41 to 43 for your overnight lows. 13 on your side forecast. Average high is 60. Won't hit that until next Friday. Weekend, mostly cloudy, 40s. Again, a chance of a sprinkle. Low and mid 50s Tuesday, Wednesday, upper 50s Thursday. And then next weekend, Saturday night and Sunday, there's another chance of some light rain. Brighter skies this afternoon, but certainly a lot cooler than yesterday. But we'll take the dry weather with maybe a little sunshine. 13 weather ball, though, is blue. We have a cool weekend in view, maybe a chance of a sprinkle as well. This view sponsored by Countryside Greenhouse of Allendale. Hi, Sadie. Yeah, you're looking for that sunshine, aren't you? We got a pretty good evening going on. Jennifer, got you the green paw for Sadie's walk this evening. dropping from the upper 50s into the low 50s. Not bad. A little cooler in the morning. Very tolerable. Light winds out of the west most of the night. So green paw in the morning for Sadie as well. Sunshine, a little better here tomorrow. Not a lot of sun, but 6.0 out of a 10-point scale to generate some green electricity. Winds will be down a little bit as well. Not a great weekend to be able to create that green energy, but you know, better than nothing. Got a cold front that went through yesterday evening that brought the showers and storms. They are now over eastern Ohio. This front slowing down or waiting for a low pressure system to come up. So that's going to continue to keep the clouds and rain over much of Michigan, and some rain mainly east of Grand Rapids. Hour by hour, you can see that rain coming up here tonight. Generally from about Ionia eastward, they could see a shower. Models are real enthusiastic about bringing a couple of sprinkles of rain through the area here tomorrow, but nothing that would prevent you from doing any outdoor activity or any kind of activity, and maybe a little bit less of a chance on Sunday. Just mainly a cold weekend around here for this time of year. And you can see rainfall heavier over toward the Detroit area and Port Huron, where they're getting about 2/3 of an inch. Got enough to maybe just wet the ground from time to time. Temperature-wise, though, a lot cooler than the last couple of days. We were 74 here yesterday, up in the low 60s very early this morning. Tomorrow, we'll only be in the upper 40s for highs, mid-40s here on Sunday, with 30s hanging on across the UP where that flooding is going on. And maybe a little bit warmer here on Monday in the upper 40s, and we'll see a gradual warming trend up to our average temperatures by next weekend. But looking ahead at the big picture, April 29 through May 5, much of the eastern 2/3 or 3/4 of the country has the highest probability for colder than average temperatures with warm weather out west. In terms of rainfall, storm track's going to be away from us, so we have a little higher chance that we'll see less precipitation after next weekend. Tonight, skies will be mostly clear, then become partly cloudy late tonight, upper 30s to around 40. Northern part, you'll see mostly cloudy skies, maybe a little more evening clearing here in Fremont than in other areas, upper 30s to around 40 for lows, and low 40s here in the greater Grand Rapids area. More clouds to the east, fewer clouds to the west. 13 on your side forecast. We don't have the raindrops in for Saturday and Sunday because they're going to be few and far between. Most of next week will be dry, warming trend from near 50 Monday and Tuesday into the upper 50s to near 60 by this time next week. Next Saturday night and Sunday, there could be a little bit of light rain.
Well, it sounds like it might be a good weekend just to kind of curl up with a good book.
That is such a great idea, George, outside on the weather deck. Cooler weather, but at least no snow and rain either.
Very few chances for rain, maybe a sprinkle. Yeah, you can do anything you want. It's just going to be cold, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, curl up with a good book in front of a fire. Yeah, or do a little outdoor work, get a little exercise. What's ahead for the weekend? 13 weather ball is blue, cooler weather in view. I wish it was red. And this view sponsored by Countryside Greenhouse of Allendale. Afternoon high so far has made it to 55. Our high for the day was at midnight. We forecast afternoon highs. 58 was our forecast, came within 3 degrees. We've done that 10 days in a row. We're on a streak. Back edge of the clearing line has been moving steadily inland. Got a lot of blue skies out here on the weather deck right now. All of the rain and thunder and lightning is now moved from Detroit eastward at the present time. Upper level winds always drive our weather systems down here on the ground. It wasn't a warm pattern for a while with south-southwest winds still going on here at this hour, but the winds are going to turn around more to the west and northwest. That is not a warm direction this time of year, and you can see we really don't get any break from the cool air. In fact, upper level low just kind of hangs out. Next weekend, that's when our next best chance for some rain will occur. Cool weather patterns setting up for a good portion of the next 10 to 15 days. Here's that back edge of the clearing showing up very well on our models here this evening, but skies are going to become mostly cloudy. You saw a couple of sprinkles overnight, and that clearing line might come back inland, but generally an overcast pattern. You can see a sprinkle of rain here and there. Nothing that will dampen any kind of outdoor activities you have planned. Just might want to keep an umbrella handy. And again, there might be a sprinkle or a snow flurry on Sunday. But overall, it's just going to be a cool weekend with highs in the 40s. Looking farther ahead, this is the week 3 and 4 temperature outlook from May 6th through the 19th. No real break from the cold air. We have a large area all the way from the Great Lakes and upper Midwest out west where it will lean cooler than average. We generally get in the mid 60s to around 70. Not seeing that. All of the warm air seems to be along the Gulf Coast. In terms of rainfall, couple of areas, one around the Memphis area and back out west. This will be updated as we get into next week as well. Forecast then for tomorrow. I don't have sprinkles in the forecast, but mostly cloudy skies, maybe a little bit more afternoon sun here. Mid and upper 40s. That's cooler than today. Mid and upper 40s up north. Again, maybe a sprinkle. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies, lighter west wind. Here in the greater Grand Rapids area, upper 40s to near 50. 13 on your side forecast. Basically dry. Might wet the pavement now and then, all the way through the weekend. Around 50 Monday and Tuesday, and then getting into the 50s Wednesday through Friday, finally up to near the average high on Friday. Saturday looking dry now until Saturday night when we see some rain move on in into next Sunday.